Hello, my cookies. Welcome to Russell Cooks. Thanks so much for joining me. I got weeknight friendly pulled pork tacos. I'm gonna char up some tomatillos and some poblanos. I'm gonna make a quick salsa, and then we're gonna make some tacos out of it. A little bit of avocado. It is gonna be Gucci, my cookies. All right, to start, and this is like the trick. I am not using something that takes a while to cook. Obviously, that wouldn't be weeknight friendly. So I'm doing a little trick here. I'm using some pork tenderloin. Now, you're asking yourself, Russell, you're crazy. It doesn't have that big porky flavor. That's the second trick. I will get to that later. I have my oven set to 425 degrees, middle rack. All right. Right now, I got 2 pork tenderloins here. I've just rubbed them up with chili powder, salt, and then rubbed them with a little bit of oil. I'm going to roast them until they're done. I want them temping at about 135, 140. Might pull them out at 135 and let the carryover cooking take them up to the 140, 145 range. You do what you want, follow FDA guidelines, all that jazz. All right, so I got 2. I'm gonna get them in the oven. They're gonna take about 15 minutes. While that's cooking, I'm gonna make this tomatillo salsa, and then boom, this is gonna be like a 30-minute meal. Let's do it. They're going. We gotta go now too. Let's gather our ingredients. We got 2 poblanos. You absolutely can use a jalapeno in place of this poblano. You can use 2 jalapenos. You can use serrano. You can use habanero. However hot you like your salsa. You need an onion. Now, I'm going to work this 2 ways. I'm going to leave a little bit of it raw to sprinkle on top of my tacos because I like some raw onion. The rest is going to go into the salsa, and then 1 garlic clove, and I have about 1.5 pounds of tomatillos here. Now, if you don't know what tomatillos are, they're like little green tomatoes. You want fresh husks. They're super dried out. Tomatillo might be as well. When you husk them, it's really easy to husk them. They're going to be a little sticky, so you might want to wear gloves or just get ready to wash your hands. All right, voila, 1.5 pounds of tomatillos. Now, I am gonna wash them, try and get a little bit of this off, but also there might be a little bit of dirt on them. I patted them dry. Now, onto the poblanos. I'm gonna leave these big because I'm gonna char these as well. Don't worry, we're gonna cut everything up. Fun little factoid here. A lot of people perceive the seeds to be the hottest part of the pepper, but they are not. It's actually the white ribs. Because the seeds are on the white ribs, people associate spiciness with the seeds. That capsaicin, whatever, it's mostly in that white pithy area. All right, now I got a super large onion. You don't need one. You need a small onion here. So I'm probably only going to use a half for my whole shebang. All right, I'm going to save half for later as a nice fresh topping. Try and get a little color, cook this a little bit. I'm going to take a handful of these out because I don't know whether they'll all fit. Onions, tomatillos, poblanos, 1 garlic clove. I'm just going to smash it, skin it. I'm going to put about 2 teaspoons olive oil in here. You can use canola, veg oil, whatever you want. Toss it around. I'm going to be doing this in a toaster oven, so you don't need to warm up your big oven. You can. You want to set rack about 6 inches from the broiler. If it's a toaster oven, it might be closer to 4. You know, it's not going to be 6 exactly, but you don't want it more than 6 inches away. So I'm going to broil these, try and get a little char on them. This might take upwards of 10 minutes. Depends on your toaster oven, depends on everything. Keep an eye on it. The goal, obviously, is to get some flavorful char on here. And if I get it on the poblanos, I might actually take some of that skin off, but it will still imprint that flavor. You are going to need a food processor. I just happen to have one right here. What do you know? All right, let's get the rest of our ingredients in here. Those tomatillos that didn't make it, I'm just going to have them and get them in here. Got about 1/2 head of cilantro here. You need some limes. My tomatillos and poblanos, we have some good char on it. The poblanos especially, I might put these back in for a couple more minutes just to get a little bit extra char, but I'm going to take the poblanos off. My pork, I'm going to take it out and temp it. Here we go. My pork tenderloin, nicely cooked. I'm going to let it rest. It has to cool before I can shred it. Let's get to these poblanos. This little skinny bit, get it? No, the skin here, I'm just going to rip that off. And if you're having trouble, paper towels can be really helpful here. You don't have to get every little piece of skin here. Now I'm just going to chop these up. Get them in my food processor. I'm going to put about 1/2 cup of cilantro in here. All right. And then we got our limes. Now this is to taste. I'm probably going to put 1 or 2 tablespoons of juice in here, but again, to taste. You can always serve these tacos with lime wedges. So let's start with 1 lime's worth of juice. Now for salt, I'm using kosher salt here, half a teaspoon, and then I'm going to season it to taste. All right, here we go. Look at this. Beautiful char. They're starting to wilt. They're releasing their juices. This is going to add some excellent flavor, some fantastic flavor to this tomatillo salsa. I just want to pulse it until it's a nice chunky consistency. I don't want it smooth and I don't want it too big and chunky. So I'd say 8 to 10 pulses. Oh yeah, this is fire, guys. Yeah, here we go. Look at that. Look at that. You can see little bits of char in there. Gonna have some really nice flavor. I'm gonna give it a taste, and we can season it to taste with lime juice and some extra salt. Great consistency. You got chunks. It's not super liquidy. It's cohesive. Let's taste this here. It is bright. It is fresh. It is not sour. It is potent. You get a teeny bit of the garlic there. It's there. It's built a lot of flavor. Cilantro comes in, boom, with a nice fresh pop. But then you get this complexity from the tomatillos, the charring, the poblanos, add a little bit of spice. Now, if I could have found some jalapenos or serranos, it would be really popping, be really, really spicy. This isn't. It's perfect. It's mellow, but it's flavorful. That is good. All right, we don't have time to waste. All right, I said this was a 30-minute meal. All right, so we got our tomatillo salsa. I made extra. Have friends over. Chip, dip, whatever. Now, this is one of the pork tenderloins. So now I'm going to cut it in about 2-inch lengths here to get about 4. So you can use 2 forks. I like using my hands. Now, you're telling me, you're saying to yourself, Russell, you can make some pulled pork tacos, but you use this lean, kind of not that flavorful cut for the pork tenderloin. Like, you're right. I did. That's exactly what I did. It's just what made it quick. You're not waiting 4 hours for that pork. But it's not going to have that big porky flavor that you're telling me about. I'm like, yeah, you're right about that too. But I got that covered. All right. To get that big porky flavor, if you ever cook bacon, save your fat. That's the trick. That's it. Now I got this lean, not that porky tasting pork. And I'm going to take some really porky tasting pork fat here. And I'm just going to put it in. Now I'm going to start with a tablespoon. It's a lot more potent than you might think. You know, don't go adding a 1/4 cup yet. Start with a tablespoon. Going to mix it up. I'm going to taste it. I'll add more as needed. Look at this. Pulled pork. Look at that. It's just, you won't be able to tell the difference. All right, let's give it a taste. Let's see whether it needs a little more pork fat. Got a little bit of smokiness. Definitely taste the pork fat. I only put a tablespoon. These are 2 1-pound tenderloins. I am going to put a teeny bit more in because I want a little more richness. Don't forget though, I'm putting avocado on this and we'll get some richness from that as well. Nice buttery avocado. Any extra juices on your tray? Ooh, put those in. Yes. We're done. That's it. All right, let's cut up a little bit of this onion here. A little raw topping. Little zazz here. Little avocado. I really love Maria and Ricardo's. They have fantastic tortillas. They're corn tortillas. They have 100% corn, or they have some with a little bit of flour in them. That makes them really pliable. They don't break apart but you still get that corn tortilla flavor. And I got a couple other flour tortillas here. Look at that. You would never know this was from the tenderloin. Hit it with a little bit of this salsa here. Look at that perfect consistency on this salsa. This is fantastic. Hit it with a little bit of raw onion. Put avocado on a couple of them here. Let's not forget a little bit of cilantro. Voila. 30-minute pulled pork tacos. Let's take a taste. This is it. That is so good. You get this big porky flavor. Remember, I only put in like 1.5 tablespoons, maybe 2 tablespoons of the pork or the bacon fat. And it's right there with the pork as I'm eating. It's all over that pork and it's tender. And I get that big umami boom. And then this salsa just brightens everything up. It helps cut through that fatty richness. It is so bright and flavorful. Oh my gosh. I love this stuff. I'm going to finish this. This is so good. Boom. I'm done. That's delicious. My intern Derek is finally back from his visit to Mongolia or in Peru, wherever he went. I promised him I'd give him one. My wife is also looking in from outside. I got to give these to them. Thanks everyone for tuning in. You can drop me a follow on twitch.tv/RussellCook. I'm on youtube.com/RussellCooksLive. All right, take care.